So this is my Cappuccino sketchbook. I unboxed this recently in my video where I opened up Jazza's incredible inky box, and yeah, I have good hopes for this. I tested it out a little bit in that video, as you can see, but I didn't actually make any drawings. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be drawing in this book. Now this isn't very original, but I wanted to draw a cup of coffee in this because it's a cappuccino sketchbook. I have to draw a cup of coffee in it at least somewhere. So I'm just sketching here with my mechanical pencil, and I'm going to be sketching out this lovely cup of coffee with probably some cake or something like that around it. So now that we have a lovely cup of coffee here in pencil form and a little piece of cake as well, I'm actually drawing in a book in the back corner as well. And I'm actually using a photo from Pexels, which is a stock image website, just as my reference today because I wanted it to be like a little still life kind of thing, something to test the waters on this cool paper. So I'm starting off on coloring in the cup here, mainly because I felt like this is, you know, the main thing of the illustration, kind of, and it's going to be the main bold color in this drawing, because most of it's going to be like more earthy tones, coffee tones and stuff like that. I'm going to be trying to using a few different blues in this cup here because I want it to kind of look sort of realistic, but also kind of not realistic because I still want this to look like a drawing. And overall, I'm liking how the Copics look on this paper actually. It looks pretty nice. It is one of those papers where you can tell that it looks darker when it is wet with the ink, but then once the ink dries, it sort of lightens up a little bit. So you kind of have to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I'm really liking this. So let's continue with this blue. So now I'm drawing in the coffee here, and I'm just using some earth tones for that because I want to add in that really nice swirly pattern that you can get in some lattes and cappuccinos. I just think that sort of latte art kind of looks really good, and yeah, I can't wait to get into sort of rendering out those details. So let's do it. Okie dokie, so my reference actually has some little coffee beans around the mug here on the saucer, and I just felt like that was really cute and a really nice detail that I just wanted to include as well. So as you can see, we've added a light layer of brown, and I'm actually going over the top with a darker brown, which is my burnt umber marker, and we are just going around all of the little coffee beans just to try and get those nice little details. So it's cake time now, and I can't really decide what kind of cake I want my cake to be. So I'm just sort of deciding that this is a cheesecake, maybe with a sort of coffee flavoring on top of it. And of course we have this little strawberry as well. And I'm actually just going in with a very light Copic marker here, which is a yellow color. Now it doesn't look very light because, as I said before, this paper sort of goes dark when it's wet. But as you can see, it is drying as the ink, you know, dries, and it's lightening up a little bit. So yeah, let's render out this little cake here and see what happens. So I think that looks pretty nice. Now let's go in with the book here, and I'm just using some more pale yellow colors, but a little bit less saturated than the cake because I want this to look, you know, softer and not cake colored. I'm just using some flicking motions here to do the shading, and later on I'm probably going to add some highlights as well with probably a pencil or something like that, because you know this is sort of mid-tone paper, so I kind of need to add in those highlights, and that's when the book will look, you know, a lot more booky. So I decided on a white pastel pencil for this because I felt like I could probably blend in those highlights and get some really nice soft highlights here. And it's actually looking pretty good. That book does look very nice. Now I'm actually going in with a napkin underneath this cake here because, you know, my napkins are white. So I'm going to go in and just draw it white, as you can see. And my pencil's getting a little bit blunt, so hopefully I don't have to sharpen it soon, because to be honest, my pastel pencils are really hard to sharpen. Now that my drawing is done, let's test to see if it has bled through. And no, it hasn't really, only a tiny bit right here. But to be honest, I did layer that up quite a lot, but I am very impressed with how this paper works. So now for my next sketch, I want to do something a little bit more cartoony, and I actually want to use the art supplies that came in the box just to test them with it as well. And those art supplies that I am excited to use are the acrylic inks. Now this drawing, I want it to be a little bit more cartoony, as I said, and I'm going to draw a little girl with apples. Now that's a bit of a strange artwork, but I want to try and experiment with a more sort of cartoony, sort of picture book style, and I really wanted to draw apples because I really love the red in that little set. It's just a really nice red, and I feel like it'll be satisfying to draw a little apple with that red color. Now because this is cartoony, I'm going to be drawing the apples really big, and I had the coolest idea to give her like a hat that is like the top of an apple. This should be a fun one, so let's just get the sketch done. So I've realized after finishing the sketch here, this drawing kind of looks like it's in the style of Casey Golden. Whoops. Now I didn't do that on purpose or anything, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind anyway, but I think it's really cute, and I like the cheeky sort of cartoony face on her and the little bob haircut. I just think it's cute, and the giant apples. So I'm just using my Copic multiliners here to do the inking. Now I decided on those because I know they are waterproof versus other inking pens, which I'm not 100% sure if the other ones I have are waterproof, but these ones definitely are. So yeah, I used a few different sizes here, and I am planning on using a thicker one around the outside. And yeah, this should look pretty nice. So it is painting time, and I just really love the vibrant color of this red here. It just looks so pretty and is perfect for an apple, and I really liked it when I tested it out. Now I'm curious to see how it will go with an illustration, because I haven't actually drawn anything with this, but it should be good. Wow, this red looks so nice. I love it, honestly. It's like my favorite red pigment, I think. So now I'm just mixing a nice green color here for the other apple because I kind of want reds and greens in this illustration, and then maybe just some like soft beigey tones that will complement the paper really nicely. So now that I've done the green parts of this illustration, let's just add a little bit of red into this green to turn it into a brown for her hair. Ooh, this brown looks very nice on the first try. Well done, Sarah. So I'm adding a little bit of water to this now because I want to have a sort of a soft light beigey color to draw her dress. Now originally I thought I would color in her skin, but I decided against that because this paper is already a pretty nice color. So let's color in this dress. So now I have mixed in a little bit of red with some white, and we're just going to go in here with these little cheeks just to make some cute little blushies, and probably a little bit on her elbow as well. So there's not much more I want to do with this drawing, but I just want to add a little bit of subtle shading in this. Nothing fancy, just a little bit of cell shading, I think, and this should be done, so let's do that. So I'm really liking how this one turned out. I think it's really cute and simple, but has some pretty good emotion in there, and the art style is pretty interesting too. So for my last sketch for today, I do want to draw some Pokemon here, just because I've made it a thing where I want to try and draw Pokemon more because I love Pokemon. And yeah, I decided on doing an Eevee with a Flareon, a Vaporeon, and a Jolteon jumping out behind Eevee. This isn't going to be too fancy because, to be honest, I don't have a whole lot of room, but I think it's going to be pretty cute. Okay, that sketch took me a surprisingly long amount of time, but we have it here. It's not perfect. I did have to change a lot of the posing with the arms and stuff like that, but I'm pretty happy with the results that I have right now. So let's go in with the colors. Now I actually decided I'm going to be drawing with my paint pens today because I really want to test how this works with the paint pens, and it actually feels pretty nice. Now I was surprised when I read the packaging of this Cappuccino sketchbook, and it says that you can use acrylic markers with this, which I figure are like Posca pens, and I was surprised because this paper isn't the thickest, but it is pretty good, and I feel like it's working pretty nicely. Now I've filled in the base colors of this Eevee here. Now I've realized that it is way too dark for Eevee, so I'm gonna have to go over the top of that with a lighter brown. Maybe I can leave some areas so it has subtle shading, who knows. But anyways, as you can see, I'm going in with this Jolteon here, and yeah, I feel like we're gonna get most of the base colors done for these Pokemon, and then go over the top later for details and line art. Now I'm just fixing up this Eevee, and this color is way more suited to Eevee than the last color I used. I didn't realize how dark brown that Artistro paint pen is. The brown is just really nice and dark compared to the Posca pen, which I really like, but I didn't realize how dark it actually was. But it doesn't matter because these are paint pens and you can pretty much layer them infinitely. And I'm just going in with more details here. As you can see, this blue, which is going to be going on the darkest parts of Vaporeon, and after that I'm going to go in with line art to finish this up. Okay, so this is mostly done, but I do want to add a nice white outline around the outside of Eevee here to make it look kind of like it's glowing, or you know, just make it more stand out from the background of the other Pokemon. And I think I'm also going to be using some other colors and possibly this white as well, just to add some highlights over these Pokemon, just to make them stand out a little bit better and just look better. So I'm going to do a risky pro gamer move here, and I'm going to just go in straight with my my white marker, and I'm going to add in some evolution stones just to fill in the empty spaces. And let's hope this isn't a mistake, but I think it's looking pretty good now, so I'm going to continue with that. Okay, so here are the results for these little drawings in my Cappuccino sketchbook, the first actual drawings in them, and I really like them. Now they are just sort of simple sort of sketch style doodles, but I had a lot of fun making them, and I hope you enjoyed watching me create them as well. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash like and hit that subscribe button as well to you know, see my other content. And I hope you all are having a lovely day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye everyone.